Welcome to Sled Check. On today's episode, we're gonna go ahead and get that brand new track installed on our snowmobile. Let's go ahead and get to it. All right guys, we're gonna go ahead and install the new track on the sled. Now, a big thing we need to take a look at before we get started is the rotation and direction of the track. And we're gonna be able to locate an arrow somewhere on the track itself that's gonna show the proper rotation. This is huge. Make sure you take the time to get that going the right way. Now, installing the track in the sled is actually a pretty big job, so I'm gonna use a second set of hands on this one. I'm gonna grab my producer, Chad, and he's gonna help me throw this in the sled. All right, guys, so Chad and I are gonna go ahead and install the track in the sled. Now, if you don't have a second pair of hands, you can use like a block of wood or something along those lines to kind of help tip up the back end. But if you do have a friend, it makes this job a lot easier. So let's go ahead and lift this in, Chad. All right, now keep in mind the rotation of the track. You want to double check your arrows at this point. Now, go ahead and grab that axle and take a look at that little plate. Now, if you've seen the previous episode, we kind of took this plate off. We're just gonna do this in the reverse order, making sure everything gets in nice and snug. All right, guys, coming in with the axle here, we're gonna go ahead and start by focusing on the bearing side. This is gonna go right up through the hole. And we'll go ahead and take the bottom portion of the axle and drop it right down into the chain case. Now we have a little bit of a retainer plate here, and it's gonna have those tabs on it that we talked about earlier. Those are gonna slide right into place, and we're gonna go counterclockwise, locking that plate into place there. And we're gonna go ahead and focus on that brake. So let's get that done. All right guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this track out of the way here so you guys can see what we're doing. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at our mounting points on our sled here. Just go from that first hole to the second one, and we're got right about 23.5 inches. Now, we'll take a look at our suspension here. As you can see, we're just over 24. Now, that's gonna be a little bit of an issue getting that suspension in there because we're gonna be fighting that shock. So how we're gonna fix that issue is grab ourselves a ratchet strap and get that compressed about that 1/2 inch so we can get everything lined up and get it in the sled with ease. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so here's what we've gone ahead and done. We've got our ratchet strap going around the base here of the rear shock, and we're connected in the back, and we go right around the bar that we have our limiter strapped to, and right back up to the edge here. So let's go ahead, give this thing a few cranks, and compress our suspension. All right, so we've gone ahead and compressed the suspension down to 23.5 inches. Everything should line up, so let's go ahead and put the suspension back in the sled. Now, a quick tip when doing this by yourself, you're gonna wanna use a screwdriver to help hold everything in place. So let's go ahead and take care of this. So now that we've got the first mounting bolt installed, let's go ahead and take care of the rest of them. All right guys, so we've gone ahead and got the track installed. We're gonna tip the sled upright, and then we're gonna finish putting her back together. That's gonna do it for our track install video. Now you guys may have noticed a few modifications we did to the suspension, so you're definitely gonna wanna check that out in our next episode, so stay tuned for that. I'm Dylan with Dennis Kirk, this is Sled Check, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sound production, take one.
All right guys, so we've gone ahead and finished the track. Let's go ahead and tip the snowmobile upright and get her back together. The struggle is so real.
A little bit.
Yes. Yeah, I needed to cool down. My head was hot. Like my nose was getting so red in the camera. I was seeing it. I was like, oh God.
12?
We're on 12.
Definitely not sitting on the sled here. No. We'll try that one again. That was a good one. I liked that. I like the antic of that. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and install that. Oh yeah, way out of focus. Focus on my face. It's a contrast focus system on that, so it's not like a Sony. It's